Hello, everyone. This is Jenny here, owner and founder of Sipping Streams Tea Company, and I thought I would do a little something that was very different and unusual that I don't usually do. And I thought I'd share with you a little bit of my family. So I don't have any children, but I have 3 dogs, and one of them has been our family dog with my parents for a very long time. This is my dog Bobo, actually my parents' dog. Bobo, get in the camera. Scoot over. Say hi, Bobo. Hi, everybody. So Bobo was born with hip issues, and now that he's 14 years old, we have a harness for him so he can walk and go to the bathroom, and we kind of assist him along the way without a wheelchair kind of thing. So this is our dog Bobo, and he's a Bichon Frise, so he's a purebred. And anyways, so he recently has had a lot of wheezing going on, and I didn't really know what was wrong with him other than I know he's extremely old because he's 14, maybe 15 years old actually. And so after a while, I noticed there was a lot of pressure when we would pick him up with the harness, and he would actually look like he was in pain. And so when I started because he usually sleeps with a harness because in Alaska it's really cold in the winter time, so his nice cloth harness is like an extra jacket. Hey, thank you so much for joining me, and feel free to write any comments, any hearts if you love Bobo just as much as I do. And so I started to realize that he had lumps on him, and I've bred hedgehogs actually for a very long time. I currently don't have any more hedgehogs, but I was like, oh no, I'm pretty sure that Bobo has cancer. So one of my friends' family members owns a Essiac herbal tea company, and they specialize in this herbal blend that is made specifically for people who are struggling and dealing with cancer. And so I thought I'd share a little bit about what I have researched recently. I thought it was very fascinating because I remember they were telling me about this herbal blend that was for humans. And what it does is that some of the research has shown is it attacks very rapid, fast-growing cells. And usually most people who are quickly growing cells at a rapid rate, an unusual rate, is usually a tumor or cancer cells. Hey, Harleen, thank you so much for joining me today. And so, or people who are pregnant too. So you do need to be careful if you're pregnant or possibly going to be pregnant. But Bobo is a dog and he is a boy, and I'm not really worried about that. And so I thought I'd at least give it a try since Bobo is pretty old as the Bichon. So I'm going to show you really quickly the package of what I'm going to do. So this is the Essiac herb tea blend, and it is from a company called Creations Wealth that I bought online, and I'm going to steep it like a tea. So there's different herbs like burdock root and seeds, and also sheep sorrel, which is a whole herb. And we also have, let's see, slippery elm bark and turkey rhubarb, and this whole thing makes a gallon. So if you've seen any of my videos on health and wellness, like in the Sipping Streams Tea Tribe, which is our private Facebook group, I mostly teach about health and wellness for humans, not for dogs. But this is a very special one that some people do use for themselves. But when I looked up the research about this tea blend, actually herbal blend that I had looked up, I found that a lot of veterinarians recommend it for their dogs who have cancer. So I figured, why not give it a go? So remember, when we steep tea or herbs as medicine, we want a container with a covered lid to be able to keep in the essential oils. You want to make it a concentrate, and you're going to want a full extract if you can. And the best way to do this is to make it really strong. Oh, you can see it's kind of powdery, really strong. And I'm going to put probably about 10 grams in here. And if you have a gram scale, it's very helpful. But you can see there's a kind of a powder that's kind of coming out of here. I've heated up boiling hot water, and on this container, it doesn't actually have the instructions on how to make it. So I'm kind of curious, but I know that this is 2 ounces. And And this is a company out of Idaho. And so if you're interested in more of this, it's called Creations Wealth. And they have information about different things and health benefits that it could possibly help with. And you can see here, it is making a very, very kind of a thick, cloudy sludge. And so I'm going to let it steep for about as long as it is until it cools down, because I know Bobo does not like boiling hot water in his food. So for Bobo, I usually will make his dry food with some hot water in it to soften up his dry food. And I will actually add fat to it if I can. I've noticed it's boosted his energy levels a lot, and dogs are best to have raw foods if you can, and low in grains and carbohydrates. So you're wanting more natural way and instinct, like the natural way a dog would be eating in the wild. However, Bobo is very, very domesticated, but he really, really enjoys the fats that I've been giving him recently. And it's been boosting his energy, actually. So after you steep this for about, it could be up to half an hour to steep everything out of it, so you're not going to re-steep it. It's also very good to pour it into a container that you could possibly save. So I have my teas infuser here that has an extremely fine mesh filter in it, and I'm just gonna pour it over my Yukon Quest, because I love dogs, Yukon Quest mug. And you'll notice it is going out very slowly because this herb is extremely fine. There's a lot of dust or kind of like, ground pieces of herbs that are in it. So this is actually going to take quite a while, and so it's going to keep steeping and eventually drain down. So when it cools, I'm going to add this concentrated liquid to some of Bobo's food so he will ingest it. There are options to get the Essiac herbs in a concentration like a tincture. So definitely stay tuned to see if Bobo is going to get better. However, I totally understand that Bobo is a very old dog and we all die, but so far he's pretty happy with his life and doesn't have much complaints. So now you'll see it's dripping really, really slowly. So hopefully it is not too fine that it just clogged up the super fine mesh filter. So hopefully the Bobo is going to get better, at least have his lumps go down for his lung cancer tumors that are developing on both sides of his lungs. And hopefully we'll see some improvement by every day giving some of this concentrate with some of his food so he'll consume it. I have read some places on some vet websites that is best to take without food, but at the same time, I know he's not just going to drink this stuff. I honestly don't know what it tastes like myself, but this is actually for humans, and a lot of veterinarians recommend it for their dogs, so it must be safe for dogs too. So stay tuned, and if you're part of the Sipping Streams Tea Tribe or don't know what I'm talking about, you can get in on all of our free teachings that we do all the time in the group. Actually, I'm about to go into a watch party to show parts of our immune boosting tea workshop that's going on for free right now in the Sipping Streams Tea Tribe. But yeah, stay tuned. I will try to make some more videos on the updates of how Bobo, my Bichon, is doing. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me. And I will see you soon on another future video.